In the cradle of civilization, between the rivers Tigris and Euphrates, lies the origin of humanity's oldest stories. Stories that speak not of gods, but of beings who came from the heavens to earth. They were called the Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came. According to ancient Sumerian tablets, they descended thousands of years ago, bringing knowledge, power, and perhaps the spark of life itself. Who were they? Gods? Aliens? Myth? Or a forgotten chapter in human history? Tonight, we journey through lost texts, forbidden theories, and truths buried beneath the sands of time. This is the story of the Anunnaki. Long before Egypt, before Greece or Rome, there was Sumer. 6,000 years ago, in what is now Iraq, the Sumerians built the first great cities, Uruk, Lagash. They invented writing, mathematics, the wheel, and the first laws. But when asked how they achieved this knowledge so suddenly, they didn't take the credit. They said it was given to them by the Anunnaki. The Sumerian king list declares that kingship descended from heaven, that civilization itself was a gift from the gods. Among these gods were Anu, the supreme father, Enki, the god of wisdom and water, and Enlil, lord of the sky and command. They ruled from their heavenly realms, but walked among men. They shaped rivers, guided stars, and chose kings.
Messages from the gods.
500,000 clay tablets have been unearthed from ancient Mesopotamia, the oldest written records on Earth. Among them are the Enuma Elish, the Epic of Gilgamesh, and the tablets of Nippur. These texts describe the arrival of powerful beings from the stars and their quest on Earth. They came, the tablets say, to mine gold, not for wealth, but for survival. Their planet, Nibiru, was dying. To repair its atmosphere, they needed microscopic particles of gold suspended in the air. The work was hard. The Anunnaki rebelled, and so they created a new species, the Adamu, the first human. Formed from the essence of the gods and the clay of the earth, the Adamu became a living being, half mortal, half divine. Enki and the creation of man. The god Enki, master of creation, was said to have defied the council of heaven. He took the genetic material of the Anunnaki and mixed it with that of the creatures already roaming the earth. The result was humanity. The Sumerians believed that our intelligence, our awareness, even our desire to look up at the stars, were echoes of our creators. The Epic of Atrahasis tells us that Enki loved his creation. When Enlil sought to destroy mankind with a great flood, it was Enki who whispered a warning to one man. His name was Ziusudra, the Sumerian Noah. He built a vessel, preserved life, and restarted the world.
The Great Flood.
Every ancient culture remembers a great flood. The Hebrews called him Noah, the Babylonians Utnapishtim, the Sumerians Ziusudra. In each version, a god warns one man to save life upon the earth. Different names, same story, same memory. Could the flood have been real? Geologists have found evidence of massive flooding in Mesopotamia around 10,000 years ago. A planetary event, later remembered as divine punishment. When the waters receded, the gods returned. Civilization began anew, and mankind carried on, guided once again by the Anunnaki.
The Return of the Gods.
In the 20th century, researcher Zecharia Sitchin reinterpreted these ancient texts. He proposed that Nibiru was a real planet, a massive world orbiting the Sun every 3,600 years. According to his translations, the Anunnaki promised to return. Modern astronomers now search for a mysterious Planet 9, a massive body far beyond Neptune that disturbs the orbits of distant asteroids. Coincidence? Or rediscovery? Could it be that the Sumerians were describing a world our science is only now beginning to find? And could those ancient gods have been flesh and blood visitors from that world? Across their tablets, the Sumerians wrote that the gods rode in chariots of fire, clothed in light. Machines? Myth? Or memories of something far greater than we dare to imagine? Echoes in religion and myth. The legacy of the Anunnaki spread across the world. As civilizations rose and fell, their names changed, but their essence remained. Enki became Ea in Babylon, Poseidon in Greece, Neptune in Rome. Enlil became Zeus, Jupiter, Odin. Their symbols, the winged disc, the serpent, the staff of power, appear across continents, from the temples of Egypt to the stones of South America. Even the Bible echoes their words. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness. Who was us? Were the gods of old the same beings humanity once called the Anunnaki? The memory of the gods. Whether gods, aliens, or archetypes of forgotten power, the Anunnaki remain the most enduring mystery of our past. They challenge everything we think we know about human origins. They blur the line between science, myth, and the divine. Perhaps they were not gods, but explorers, teachers, engineers of life. Perhaps the memory of their coming and their departure was written not only in stone tablets, but in us, in our DNA, in our collective memory, in the stories that never fade. The Anunnaki, those who from heaven to earth came, and maybe, one day, they will come again. This was Anunnaki, the forbidden story of humanity's origins. You are watching Scroll of Time. Subscribe and keep the past alive.